Hi everybody, today is May 28th, 2024. We want to talk about a few of the names that I was playing and how they turned out today, and as also some of the tickers that I'm looking at that have a little bit of potential. Just as a reminder for everybody, I day trade and I swing trade, and I base my trading based upon the 1 day chart, and I move my decisions down to these time frames. Probably the 1 minute between the 5 minute is where I start looking when I am actually gonna enter or when I'm gonna get out, and make your own decisions. This is just how I see trading. If it's useful for you, that is great, but I strongly suggest that you shouldn't consider this as financial advice, or you should base your trades on how I trade. Again, this is just for you to have some sort of insight of what I see on the charts, and if it's helpful, that is great. And if you have any comments, feel free to comment on the video. So we are gonna talk about AFRM and Celsius Holdings, CleanSpark, Carvana, PayPal, Roblox, and Block or SQ. So let's start with AFRM. I do have some put options here for AFRM. I bought them, I believe, when we were about to break on Thursday. So I bought them right on this candle. And what I was mentioning, not only on my X account, but also what I was mentioning on YouTube videos, is that breaking this support level could easily bring us down to 26 or even further. But I think 2609 or 26, I guess, level, it is where my eyes are aiming right now. So I'm slightly green. It's been playing on this area right now, but I still have that bias. So I bought these puts that expire by the end of June of next month. So I'm still fine. It did pretty good in the morning, but it kind of like came back at some point today. Yeah, so pretty choppy if you ask me. But again, I base this entry on this chart and this level right here, which is a level that I drew from this point all the way here. So I think it's a pretty support resistance level. In this case now is a resistance level. It was support not that long ago. So we'll see. I think 2609 is a pretty reasonable prediction, but again, trading is trading, so we don't know if there is good news tomorrow and this actually goes belly up. But so far it's printing. I did mention Celsius Holdings, I believe, on Thursday as well, and a couple of days before. The reason why I actually mentioned this name, which is not something that a ticker that I normally trade, is because I saw this rejection here at 99.62, and then it came this way. So this happened back in March, and then a couple of days ago on May the 22nd we saw the same behavior and it came down. So I bought some put options here yesterday. I was, I don't know, these were, I think these options expired this Friday, so I wasn't too comfortable seeing what was happening here yesterday because it went up at one point over 4%. So obviously I was red and I was a little bit uncomfortable. So I was thinking, no matter what, I'm gonna sell today. Well, I guess there were news about the company and they weren't too favorable to Celsius Holdings, and it dropped about 16%. And I did sell around 9 a.m. So I executed my exit on this tiny drop right here. It did go down a little bit more, but then it kind of went up and took back like 4%, but still it had a minus 12%. So to be honest, these options went up my put options were up 700%. So that was a pretty good day today, and my expectation wasn't that we were gonna see a candle this big, but I was thinking that it was gonna be a similar move like this one, and maybe sell in this area. But obviously, sometimes things go completely your way, and I got a 700% on these put options, which was great. I do think, however, looking at the MACD and the TSI and the RSI, there is still more room now to go to 68, 83. I don't think I'm gonna play any. There might be a rebound right here at the SMA 35, but I'm just gonna wait. I think I already played this name that way. I guess I was kind of predicting. Played out really well for me, so I'm just gonna give it a breather, and then I'm just gonna look for a better setup. I just don't like this kind of even though it looks great, this kind of candles or anything. I just like more consistent moves, and what I mean by this, I wouldn't be surprised and tomorrow we see a move up after people pick up some shares at a lower level. So I don't think I'm gonna enter. However, I think there is room in the future, meaning in the next few days, for this to keep going down towards 68, which is a pretty strong support level. So keep an eye on this. I just wanted to share this because it played out better than what I was expecting, and here we are. Glad I got to sell today. Now, I found this guy, Clean Spark. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what Clean Spark does, and I don't care. It has decent volume, which is a good thing. So it's easy to trade in options or even stocks because the execution is more reliable. What I like about this is the range. I think it could be a little bit. Let's put a trend line because I saw this. It could be better if goes over the 18, 35, 36 level. I think it could also go this way, bounce on this support line on the trend line, and then keep going up. We'll see. I just like the fact that it's on range. I like the fact that it keeps bouncing off the SMA 35. So, and now it's just distancing from the SMA 35, which in my opinion is a good indication. The indicators, the TSI, MACD, and RSI, they look pretty neutral. So, and I like seeing this. I wish they were just crossing right now, but they're not. But I think it's still a good opportunity if we see a couple of candles going up and retesting and then going up. So I think what I'm gonna do here is just wait a few more days and see if we have a setup that actually breaks and either rebounds on this or retest this level, which is 1836, I believe, or goes down to this support trend line and go up. Either way, I'm just gonna keep an eye on this, and then I'll report on this name later on. I'll let you know if I buy any options on this. I would probably buy calls, but we'll see. Never tried this name before, but I'm open to trade it. Carvana. I did buy Carvana, I think last week on Thursday. I've been mentioning Carvana in my last videos and on X almost every day since I got my position. So I got some puts. They are doing great. They are expiring on mid-June, so right now they're up 50% or something like that. But I guess the thesis was, well, we have 11 or 111.50, and you have this low liquidity area here. It is pretty obvious. So this works like a magnet. I mean, this was pretty clear. And what I also saw was this move right here on the MACD that was pretty extended right here, and then now it moves pretty quickly down. And it did the same on the TSI. So that for me was more of a confirmation. I think we still have more room to go towards the zero line on both of these indicators, and I think obviously we have a lot of more room to get at least down somewhere in this area between 50 and 30 on the RSI. So we'll see. I am not planning to sell. These are my puts yet. These are puts that I got that expire again by the end of June. So I'm just gonna let it play. Probably wait by the end of the week and make a decision by then. But it was a bad day for Carvana today. It was minus 4.18. And if you look at the 1 day chart, it just kept going down. It tried to come back a little bit, but it didn't do anything. So I'm not too worried about, or I'm not too doubtful about the continuation to this move. Even if I see a couple of green candles, I think 90.6 or even lower, for sure. My bet on this is that it's gonna fill the gap, and that would be great. Anyways, so that is it for Carvana. Now I was looking at this name, which I mentioned a few weeks back. Not my favorite ticket, but here we are. PayPal. I did put this trend line here because there could be some things at play here. We might be retesting this and then continuing going towards this support level, or maybe lower. Our support right now here is 60.28. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually keeps moving up towards this trend line support and then go down. That retest would be great. So if I see that going on, I would definitely get in. I think, again, from my way of trading, I wish I would have make a move somewhere in this area. And why on this on this candle? For two reasons. The first reason would be because we're breaking 64.97, which was some sort of support at one point turned into resistance. So this was a good candle to jump in, this one right here on the May the 8th. And then the other reason why coming into this or playing this candle right here would have been because of the move that I see in the MACD and the TSI. They were pretty telling, but again, and you can also see the other trend right here. If you, I just don't want to get too distracted with these things, but this might work. But if you see this right here, you also have a very telling story that you can continue going down. So, you know, I have a bias. I kind of don't like PayPal, but now that I'm looking at this, I kind of regret the fact that I didn't pay more attention to this. So anyways, I do think that it would be great for this to move up to either this support level 64.97 and then go down, or to the trend line or support line, and then I would take a position. I don't know, but unfortunately I didn't take it. Let's just wait for this to breathe a little bit, see if it's gonna reject the SMA 35. There's a lot of things that could go on here, so I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I'm not gonna be reporting on PayPal every day, but if I see something that it looks pretty obvious, I'm definitely gonna make a video about it or mention it in X or here on the videos. So that's that for PayPal. Roblox. This looks pretty nice. A few things that look nice. So I see resistance level right here at 35.75. I also see MACD and TSI moving simultaneously, and for the most part they move in a very similar way, especially on this time frames. And And another thing is the low liquidity gap, right? That we have this price gap that is, in my opinion, is going to start filling. So I think this is a good opportunity. If we have a couple of solid days, maybe tomorrow, if we're green tomorrow, I might buy some some calls by the end of the day tomorrow, because then most of the candle is going to be exposed, and then it's easier, in my opinion, to make a decision, at least for me. So I'll wait by tomorrow end of day, or by the next day, which is Thursday, and see if I enter. But what I like here is the lack of liquidity because of the gap that we have here. It's probably a double gap actually here as well, and then I also see the TSI and the MACD reacting. So yeah, I like this. I like this name. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I'm probably gonna put some charts or whatnot on X tomorrow. I did today. So all the names that I'm mentioning today are on X already. So keep an eye on that. And block. Why am I playing? Oh, no, I'm not playing. Why am I looking at this? Well, we have this support that has been bouncing on this level, which is I think 65.68, and it's been pretty much a range. It could be a little lower, a little bit higher, but let's say 65.6. And I do think that we can bounce here, and if we do, then you have a good opportunity to go up to 74. But if we break, then we have I guess a clear path to go to 61.82, which has a pretty strong support, in my opinion, in this area. And then let me see something right here. Sorry. Yeah, actually, if you move this all the way here, makes a little bit more sense. So yeah, and then we can go to 61.58, and if it breaks that, forget about it. But I think, or if it bounces, then we can have different plays. But what I like about this name right now is that you have something developing here that, again, it did try to break this level, then it came back. Let's take a look at the 1 minute chart. 1 minute. So yeah, it went down, then it bounced, then it came back up. You can probably see this better on the 5 minute. Now let's go to the 30 minute. Yeah. So it went down, and then very quickly tries best to actually stay above this level. This actually looks good. I don't have a bias right now, but maybe in the next day or two, things are going to look a little more clear. And that is all I have. I do have another position. I wanted to mention this on Shopify. I did buy it here. I'm red right now because of how, or here, I don't know where it was. I think, yeah, here, on Thursday, correct, on Thursday. And, but today it actually had a pretty nice, I think, if I'm looking at the right, yeah, a pretty nice recovery. So I like what I'm seeing in Shop. My calls are for the end of June as well. So I'm not too worried, and I'm a little bit red on this. Again, my thesis on this is like, it's rebounding on this area of support, and you have MACD and TSI also moving up. The RSI is also looking pretty decent, and so it's recovering. And also another thing that I like to look at is these price gaps, which seems to have become a little bit common lately. I don't know. You didn't see them as often before, but at least, anyways, what I like about this is that we can either go to this 61.7 and maybe start ranging, which would be bad. Worst case scenario, obviously, if it breaks and it starts covering this gap, that would be bad. But again, I think at least my bias for now is a bullish bias. I think we can at the least go to 61.79, and if we break this level, then we have definitely there's room here. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on this. I just didn't wanna put pictures or stuff like that or charts on X for a lot of reasons. But yeah, there are some names that are interesting that I'm gonna keeping an eye. And then I think I mentioned AMD on my last video. This is playing the way I said. Again, the setup is already, in my opinion, it already left me behind. So I'm not gonna buy any AMD, but I think there's definitely a pretty strong potential for 180 and beyond. But we'll see how they behave. And there is quite a few names that I can work on, and I will be reporting on the next videos. So that's all I have for today. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.